Agnes Milowka wasn't just any diver. Born in Poland in 1981 and raised in Melbourne, Australia, she was a force of nature. By 29, she'd become a legend in the caving world, known for pushing deeper into underwater caves than anyone before her. With degrees in maritime archaeology, history, and business, she was as smart as she was brave. She'd explored caves from Florida to the Bahamas, worked as a stunt double and dive instructor on James Cameron's film Sanctum, and even set a record for the longest cave dive by a woman in Australia. Agnes lived for the thrill of laying new line, marking unexplored passages where no human had ever been. "It's the essence of exploration," she said in one video interview, her eyes shining with passion. "There's no greater feeling than finding a passage no one's ever seen." But on February 27, 2011, that passion led her to venture into Tank Cave, an adventure that will keep you up awake till the very end. The Tank Cave is near Mount Gambier, a caver's dream and a diver's nightmare. Its entrance, hidden beneath the water tank, requires a climb down a short ladder into a world of crystal-clear water and twisting tunnels. Controlled by the Cave Divers Association of Australia, it's reserved for only the most skilled, with passages so tight they scrape your tanks, and so complex they can disorient even the best. Agnes had dived Tank Cave many times, calling it the crowning jewel of the region's caves. She loved its shallow depths, around 66 feet at most, and its lack of strong currents, which made it feel deceptively safe. But she also warned of its dangers: stir up the silt, and visibility drops to zero. Because if you get caught in a tight squeeze, there's no easy way out. On that Sunday, Agnes was diving with a group from Victoria, her excitement clear in a tweet days before. "Another weekend of cave diving in Mount Gambier. Fabulous! Can't wait to get underground." The plan was to explore and lay new line, pushing deeper into the cave's unmapped corners. Agnes, with her PADI, TDI, and CDA certifications, was no rookie. She carried multiple tanks, a lifeline of air, and followed the golden rule of cave diving: stick to the guide ropes and never dive alone. But something went wrong. During the dive, Agnes separated from her buddy, Andy Higgins, a fellow caver and friend. Why she left him isn't clear. Some say she spotted a new passage and couldn't resist exploring it solo, a risky move the Cave Divers Association frowned upon. Others believe she got disoriented in the cave's maze-like tunnels. Whatever the reason, Agnes ventured into a narrow, uncharted section about 1,800 feet from the entrance, a tight crevasse where the walls closed in like a trap. Alone in the dark, Agnes stirred up silt from the cave floor and walls, clouding the water until she could barely see. Visibility dropped to inches, maybe less. In that suffocating space, panic could have set in, but reports say Agnes stayed calm, fighting to free herself. Her training kicked in. She knew panicking meant death. But the cave was relentless. The silt blinded her, and her air was running low. At 66 feet deep, in a passage too tight to turn around, Agnes ran out of oxygen. The coroner later confirmed she suffocated, her body found submerged in 20 meters of water, about 600 meters from the entrance. Her calm attitude, even in her final moments, was an indication of her skill, but it wasn't enough to save her. The recovery of Agnes' corpse was a gut-wrenching ordeal. Her fellow divers, including her friend Dr. Richard Harris, worked non-stop to retrieve her body. They faced the same dangers Agnes did: zero visibility, tight squeezes, and the risk of stirring up more silt. For 2 days, they cleared rocks and widened passages, waiting hours between dives for the water to clear. Superintendent Trevor Twilley described the effort as extremely complex, with divers navigating by feel and guide ropes alone. On March 2, 2011, they finally brought Agnes to the surface, a somber victory for a grieving community. Her parents, waiting at the site, faced the unbearable loss of their daughter, whose love for exploration had cost her everything. Agnes's death sent shockwaves through the caving world. She wasn't just a diver. She was an explorer who mapped new passages, took stunning underwater photos, and inspired countless others. Her work on Sanctum, a film about a cave diving disaster, added a haunting irony: dedicated to her friend Wes Skiles, who had died while diving the year before. It mirrored her own fate. Tank Cave, with its beauty and danger, became a symbol of her legacy and a warning. The Cave Divers Association tightened rules, stressing the need for buddies, marked lines, and strict air management. Agnes herself had written about the risks, saying, "Everything that could possibly go wrong for me has. You can panic and die, give up and die, or control your thoughts and give yourself the best chance of coming out alive." She chose to fight, but the cave won. Agnes's legacy lives on. Passages she explored, like A.G.'s Dreamtime Passage in Alwoljan Cave and Milowka Canal in Elk River Cave, bear her name. The Agnes Milowka Memorial Environmental Science Award supports young explorers, and her photos and writings still inspire. But her death also sparked debate. Some cavers defend solo diving, saying it's part of the thrill. Others, like Steve Trewavas of the Cave Divers Association, point out she broke key safety rules. Andy Higgins, her dive buddy that day, faced scrutiny but stood by her passion, calling her an exceptional diver, driven to explore. A coroner's inquiry examined her equipment, but the truth was clear. Tank Cave's complexity and her choice to go solo were a deadly combination. The cave itself remains a magnet for divers, its clear waters and vast tunnels a siren's call. But Agnes's story is a warning carved in its walls. Cave diving is one of the most dangerous sports. 368 divers died worldwide between 1969 and 2007, and Tank Cave has claimed others since, including a Melbourne man in 2011. Every dive is a gamble with nature's most unforgiving terrain. You need backup tanks, perfect training, and a cool head. Agnes had all that, yet the cave still took her. Her final dive, laying new line in a virgin passage, was her dream come true, and her undoing. This story sticks with you because it's more than a tragedy. It's about chasing what sets your soul on fire, even when it burns you. Agnes lived for the rush of discovery, knowing the risks but diving anyway. Her story is a haunting mix of courage and consequence, a reminder that the underground doesn't care how skilled you are. It's why horror fans can't look away and why cavers double-check their gear before every descent. Before you go, smash that like button if Agnes's story hit you hard. Share in the comments, would you dare venture into Tank Cave, or is this nightmare enough to keep you on the surface? Hit subscribe and tap the bell for more chilling tales that'll haunt you long after they're over. Tank Cave still waits, its passage is silent but deadly. Agnes's story is a call to chase your passion, but never forget the price you might pay. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.